Welcome back to Crypto Lodge, and today I want to talk about Solana. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's making a lot of waves right now. It's one of the cheapest, quickest, most eco-friendly blockchains on the planet. It's one of the fastest growing blockchains on the planet. It's one of the most decentralized, and it uses an interesting mechanism called proof of history. Instead of proof of stake, instead of proof of work, it's proof of history. Build crypto apps that scale. Solana is a fast, secure, and censorship-resistant blockchain, providing the open infrastructure required for global adoption. Let's watch this short video here.
Let me ask you a question. Tired of high fees and slow transactions?
Yeah.
So are we. Public blockchains have opened the door for anyone with an internet connection to create and access digital markets. The global financial system has the potential to become more innovative, efficient, and democratized. But there's a problem. Legacy blockchains don't scale, and therefore the crypto apps built on top can't either. As usage has increased, so have the fees and transaction wait times, preventing crypto ecosystems from reaching their full potential. Enter Solana. The Solana blockchain is fast, really fast, and it's low cost, with average fees less than a cent per transaction. What's more, Solana empowers developers to rapidly experiment and deploy apps using composable building blocks, while never dealing with additional friction introduced by sharding or fragmented Layer 2 systems. Lastly, Solana is censorship resistant and scales as its ecosystem grows to billions of users globally, meaning the network will remain open for applications to run freely and transactions will never be stopped. Yes, Solana is truly unstoppable, now and forever. So say goodbye to slow transactions and high fees, and say hello to Solana, where you can build crypto apps that scale today.
I built an entire NFT marketplace using Solana in 2 weeks. So I know how good the developer tools are, and I'll show you that in a moment. This is the fastest growing ecosystem in crypto. The best projects in DeFi, Web3, and blockchain gaming choose to build on Solana for the long term. All of these projects and more, I'll show you that soon. It's locked and loaded, ready to show. All of these projects in some way, shape, or form are using Solana. Chainlink, Terra, Serum, Tether. It's quite amazing. Try to break Solana. Solana can process 50,000 transactions per second. Don't believe us? Stress test the network to experience Solana's speed for yourself. Break Solana. This has been going on for over a year, I think, and nobody's been able to break it yet. People run scripts to try to break the system, but they just can't. Solana is the world's most performant blockchain. Currently, it can handle 50,000 transactions per second with 400 millisecond block times. To see just how fast it is, you're invited to come and break Solana. During the next 15 seconds, send as many transactions as you can by smashing your keyboard. Hold on. I guess you gotta connect the wallet. Testnet. Well, it did work before. It was working in a different way. Build the next great decentralized exchange. Build the next great decentralized prediction market. Build the next great decentralized marketplace. Focus on your vision. If it's decentralized, we've got you covered. Say goodbye to high gas fees and slow confirmations. Solana is built for speed without trade-offs. Solana transactions are literally, I send it from, like if I was sending a transaction from me to you, as soon as I click it, you get a notification saying you got it. And the fee was a fraction of a cent. Scalable. Solana leverages proof of history and several other breakthrough innovations to allow the network to scale at the rate of Moore's law. Low cost. Never worry about rising fees as your user base grows. Solana is designed to keep fees low for applications with billions of users. Composable. Solana's single global state ensures composability between projects. Never deal with multiple shards or layer 2 systems. Focus on your business, not your blockchain infrastructure. Solana's blazing speed and low fees scale as the ecosystem grows without sacrificing censorship resistance or security. You can code in whatever language you're comfortable with. Rust, C, C++, flexible virtual machine integrations, and a lot more on the way. Avoid long wait times for your users, blazing fast speeds, capital efficient as the ecosystem grows. Solana scales thanks to Moore's law. There's no need to integrate with multiple shards or layer 2s. 8 core innovations enable your business scale to billions of users and devices around the world. Don't choose between scale, security, and decentralization. Solana has solved the trilemma for you. No sharding required. Here's how. Proof of history, Tower BFT, seal level, and pipeline. And Gulfstream, Turbine, Cloudbreak, Archivers. Archivers are distributed ledger storage. Cloudbreak is horizontally scaled account database. Pipeline is transaction processing unit for validation. C-level is the world's first parallel smart contracts runtime. Proof of history is a clock before consensus. It's awesome. Tower BFT is a proof of history optimized version of PBFT. Turbine, a block propagation protocol, and Gulfstream, a mempool-less transaction forwarding protocol. Want to play around and learn through examples? Check out the demos. You can jump straight in and start building, and you can go look straight at the source code. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know I love projects that their GitHub is updated all the time. 18 minutes ago, 10 hours ago, yesterday, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, all the time, updated constantly. I love that about Solana and good projects. This is what awed me about Solana when I was hired to build an NFT marketplace. You can create an SPL token, Solana's equivalent to an ERC20 token, with like 2 lines of code. Get started building your decentralized app or marketplace right away. You can run a validator node right away, manage a wallet, learn how Solana works, create a token. It's so easy. Just look at create a token. A token program on the Solana blockchain. defines a common implementation for fungible and non-fungible tokens. It shows you exactly how to do it. Couple commands, couple lines of code. Their documentation is fantastic. All of this documentation, wallet integration, wrapping Solana, delegation, finding all token accounts for a specific mint. This is for developers. I'll move on. I will move on with the video. Archivers, Solana's solution to petabytes of blockchain data storage. Solana is the most, yeah, they said that a lot. Archivers, it's basically proof of replication. We were introduced to proof of replication by Filecoin in 2017 and 2018. We built our version of PoRep for Solana using VDF and optimized for batch verification. At full capacity, the Solana network would generate 1 gigabyte per second times 365 days equals 4 petabytes of data every year. I don't even know how much that is, but it's awesome. Cloudbreak, Solana's horizontally scaled state architecture, sea-level, parallel, thousands of smart contracts. I'm going to put all of these links in the description of this video. Proof of history. This is a very good read, and I recommend you read Proof of History. One of the most difficult problems in distributed systems is agreement on time. Google's Spanner uses synchronized atomic clocks between its data centers. Google's engineers synchronize these clocks to a very high precision and constantly maintain them. The problem is even harder in an adversarial system like blockchains. So read this. It's a very good read. It's a short read, but it's amazing, and it even takes you to the code of how it works if you're a developer. I'll link to GitHub. Kickstart your project on Solana. The Solana Foundation Grants Program gives teams access to funding, dedicated technical support, recruiting assistance, and more. You can apply for funding. Build on a blockchain that actually scales. The Solana Grants Program helps new infrastructure projects, end user applications, and everything in between launch to democratize the internet and global financial system. They do this to get more dApps run. And the beauty of this is the ecosystem. Let me find the ecosystem here in the tabs. Here it is. No. Let's just click ecosystem here. Serious builders choose Solana for millions of users. And here's all the different things. You can just click on something like NFTs, creatures, Metamarket, and Solarians. These are 3 different NFT marketplaces built on Solana. Creatures are NFT collectibles built on Solana. There's creatures.com. These are collectibles, NFTs built on Solana. Let's look at Metamarket. Metamarket is a serum DEX with NFT minting and listing with interoperability incentives. Metamarket, yeah. That takes you to the okay. Ecosystem. validators. You can secure the ledger and earn SOL. You can become a validator just by running some software. Where's the ecosystem? I think we have to go back here. So we can go to app. There's tons of apps built using, I mean, altogether there are, does it say the entire amount? Because there's a lot. The biggest one I would say is infrastructure with wallet or exchange. Let's just look at all. Oh, 157 altogether. Maps system. Serum uses Solana. Atomic Wallet uses Solana. MoonPay uses Solana. Audius, Band Protocol, Solrise Finance, DeFi. You could probably come up here and just click on DeFi. On AMM, that's DeFi. Hedgehog, SendSwap, SolFarm, Nerve Finance, Trader Dome. The ecosystem is massive. It really is.
Let me ask you a question.
Here's their YouTube. Solana's core concepts. It's only 6 minutes. We might as well watch it.
Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be going over some of Solana's core technological concepts so you can kickstart your development, become a power user, or just expand your blockchain knowledge. Introducing Solana, an open source project implementing a new, permissionless, state-of-the-art blockchain that is able to achieve a very high number of transactions per second. This is achieved by, first of all, using Solana's own consensus algorithm named Proof of History. It can be implemented using a mechanism that has existed in Bitcoin's source code since day one called nLockTime. That post-dates transactions using block height instead of the usual timestamp. Block height, or the amount of blocks before the current one, turns out to be a cryptographically secure way to say time has passed. Solana uses a far more granular function called SHA-256 hashchain to checkpoint the ledger and coordinate consensus. Once nodes are able to trust time, decades of distributed systems research become applicable to the blockchain technology. First proposed in 1981, a technique named optimistic concurrency control enables a database to also replicate itself and maintain high availability without significantly compromising its transaction rate. The Solana project demonstrates that this technique can be efficiently applied to the blockchain on an adversarial network with a theoretical limit of more than 700,000 transactions per second. And this is on a standard gigabit network. In a 40 gigabit one, more than 28 million transactions per second can be theoretically achieved. Solana's architecture goes on to satisfy all three desirable properties of a blockchain. It is scalable, secure, and decentralized, also supporting safe, concurrent execution of programs in programming languages such as C or Rust. Now that you know what the Solana project is all about, let's delve into its core practical principles. A Solana cluster can be defined as a set of independently owned computers working together or against one another to verify the output of untrusted user-submitted programs. From the outside, the cluster can be viewed as a single system and utilized anytime a user wants to preserve or interpret an immutable record of events, such as tracking which computers did meaningful work to maintain the network or verifying possession of real-world assets. During any of these processes, the cluster produces a record of events called the ledger, which will be preserved for the lifetime of the cluster. As long as a node has a copy of the ledger, the output of its programs are reproducible, regardless of when or who deployed them. Sol is the name of Solana's native token, which can be passed down to nodes in exchange for running on-chain programs or validating their outputs. A sol is subdivisible by up to 1 billion times, and a billionth of a sol is called a Lamport, named after the Turing Award-winning computer scientist Leslie Lamport, Solana's biggest technical influence. As a Solana developer, you can subdivide your program into two parts: a set of decentralized, blockchain-based programs that run behind the curtains and can be audited, and then there's the web app itself that interacts with your users. The basic production flow of a Solana app goes something like this. First of all, developers deploy their decentralized code directly to a Solana cluster. Then, users cause your web app to interact with the Solana cluster by sending it transactions with one or more instructions. The Solana runtime is in charge of correctly passing down those instructions to our previously deployed programs. An instruction can be, for instance, transferring 1,000 Lamports between accounts given a condition is met. Instructions are then executed sequentially and atomically for each transaction. That is, if every instruction checks out, changes are committed, and your program has successfully been executed. Now, if any single one of the instructions is invalid, all account changes in the transaction are completely discarded, and the state of execution goes back to how it was before. So this is going to wrap up our Solana Core Concepts video. I really hope you managed.
I just want this video to be as in-depth as possible because you clicked on this to learn about Solana. The Solana podcast. They've got a podcast if you want to learn more. Solana news. Announcing Solana season. It's a hackathon, May 15th through June 7th. So it's been going on, and that is, where's the site at? Solana.com / Solana SZN. I think I have it open. Okay. Solana.com / Solana SZN. There we go. Oh, we already did this. Oh. So this is, today's the 30th. So there's nothing until the 7th, closing ceremony talk. But this was the last one that they did. So you can go and check these out at twitch.tv/SolanaTV. And that concludes Solana, an amazing blockchain and also an amazing investment opportunity, in my opinion. This is not financial advice, but let me just show you the chart. Solana had a pretty bad couple of weeks, just like the rest of the market. And from wick to wick, Solana dropped 67%, but did manage to come back up 30%. In order for Solana to make a new all-time high, it needs to go up a measly 31%. History doesn't repeat itself. Nobody's charts on anybody's, so many people have charts, and none of them will be right. Charts are like snowflakes, they're all different. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And if we just do something like we did in the past and have a V-shaped recovery, Solana will be $100 in no time. I think it's a great long-term hold. It's a great blockchain, a lot of potential. For some reason, Australia loves it. Like the whole continent. Dubai loves it. The whole world, it's being adopted across the whole world, and you can see that when you go to the main page. This just keeps ticking and ticking and ticking, the transactions. And if you click on, if you go to solanabeach.io, it's pretty much the explorer. It shows you where all the nodes are, mostly United States. And it's funny I said Australia loves it, because I don't see any validators there. Let's click on validators. Chorus 1, Everstake. So you can stake your Solana and earn rewards. $999 transactions per second at the moment. That was cool. It fluctuates, I guess. But it looks like the majority of it is in... The biggest node is in Europe. Nothing in Africa, nothing in South America, nothing in Canada. That looks like it's Washington or Alaska. We've got some over in China. It's mostly United States. We got a 97 node here too. 178 right there in Middle America. Way to go, USA. Tokens. Let's see. Holders. Let's go from top to bottom. See who's got the biggest bag. Huh. So that's just for liquidity on Selenium. Cool. Alright. That concludes. I mean, if this does that again, it just keeps going around that rate, or if we have a super cycle, a lot of adoption comes, we could do this. $200 coin, who knows. But that concludes this this live stream. The market is up, probably still. The market is up 1.2% still. Let's see how it is tomorrow. If you like the content, like and subscribe. Comment if you're bullish on Solana. Comment if you're not. I'd like to know your opinion. And we will I'll see you next time. And join the Telegram, t.me/thecryptolodge. There's a ton of links in the description.